ActionFigureResource.com. Yesterday's toys, today's treasures.
Okay, so today I am reviewing DC Collectibles' Catwoman from Batman's animated series Wave 1, released in 2015. So this is Selina Kyle as she first appeared on screen in animated form in 1992. And once again with this line, super accurate to what you saw on screen. The colours are flat, there's no shading, it's not massively special in that regard. They're not trying to deliver you a more vibrant version of what you saw. It's very much as direct a translation as they can get into an elegant, graceful figure. Straight away I've noticed she doesn't have a swivel waist. That tiny hourglass figure waist is absolutely immovable, which limits the amount of action poses you can put her in. She's always kind of got to be facing face on or side on. She has those double jointed hips again, so you can move her legs forwards, backwards and side to side, which is great for posing. She has very stiff hinged knee joints and then swiveling calves and then swivel hinge feet. Ball jointed shoulders, these really stiff little elbow joints, which are again hinged, swivel hinged wrists. And she has 6 hands in total, 2 of which are scratching hands, 1 of which will ably hold her whip, and 3 of which seem to be sort of loosely gripping something, none of which are the actual accessories she comes with. And she has this lovely ball-jointed head which can again make her look in any direction, although her eyes will always be heavily lidded and she has this kind of scathing expression, which again, accurate to the TV show. But it feels like this is one instance where an additional head would have been a good idea, with her sort of looking like she's just seen some jewels. The whip is made of this lovely flexible rubber, which feels really fluid and actually acts very whip-like. In fact, I'm going to say this, it's not a huge area, but best whip I've ever had with an action figure. Certainly beats Beastman from the original Masters of the Universe, which is just a bit of string. Other accessories she comes with, first up, Isis, her cat, who's got this lovely kind of cross-eyed expression. All 4 of Isis's legs are hinged, and he has a little swivel tail. And he has a ball-jointed head, so you can pretty much get him to look anywhere, which, if you're into playing with your figures, gets so much potential for Isis getting into scrapes so that Catwoman has to then get him out of them. 2 other accessories, a necklace, so that she can go cat burgling, and a little pair of micro binoculars, which are useless. She can't hold them in any of her hands. She can't, even the way her arms are set up, she can't hold them up to her head anyway. So this is something they just shouldn't have bothered with. And again, she's got this lovely little figure stand, which she's going to need to put her in pretty much any position, because she's very spindly, and her feet don't give her any kind of center of gravity at all, so she's going to fall over if a stiff breeze hits her. And when I say stiff breeze, I mean a cat breathes on her. Issues. I got 2 issues, minor to medium. One of them is, as with the Batman figure that I noted, when you bend her at the knee, the seam on the outer side of her thigh ever so slightly strains, and it feels like that's the weak spot on this figure, so I'm a little bit worried about bending her at the knee. And another is, and this is going to be the case with all the female figures in this line, there's not that much to her. If you compare her to, say, Harvey Bullock, or Commissioner Gordon, or Batman himself, there's a lot less plastic that goes into Catwoman for the exact same price figure, which is fine, I suppose. They divide the plastic over the whole load, and you're able to buy the bulkier figures at a reasonable price because of that. But it feels like, considering how simple and one piece, she doesn't even have hair, her head is, an additional head would have been a good idea here. She's also really hard to find these days, so I'm going to have to sort of factor that into my summation now, because you're going to be paying more for her than you would on the shelf if you find any of the other figures. So in summation, barring an additional head, this is about as much Catwoman animated as we could possibly have asked for. She looks absolutely gorgeous. You can get her into loads of different poses. I'm worried about the seams on her thighs. She doesn't have a swiveling waist, and there's a lot less of her than the other figures. So I'm going to give her an 8. Action Figure Resource now has a Patreon. This allows you to pledge your support for our ongoing archive of info and entertainment for the serious action figure collector. We'll keep on putting out multiple videos per month, and those will increase if we hit our higher goals. There are 3 main tiers you need to know about. Bronze is basically everything that's freely available on YouTube. These will be fun, short videos like top 10s, figure reviews, and our many interviews. But if you're on our Patreon at the bronze level, you can also talk with the community, get updates every time something new launches, and vote in our polls. Silver is for if you want something more in-depth. Here is where you'll find our collector guides and histories. And gold is where you can access our deluxe collector guides, which go into even more detail on some of the most popular and important lines. This level also grants access to our digital magazine archive. If you pick the level above this, then as one of our special sponsors, you can get your name listed in the credits of the videos for that month. And if you've always wanted to see an action figure line covered by us, well, you can commission that too at our premium sponsor level. The ActionFigureResource Patreon. We're here to help you find the toys you want.